the law, it's the moral responsibility somewhere and the social responsibility that if a parent is uncomfortable, why do you want to make one go through that, right?
True.
We anyway, I think from media perspective, we are in this business, we work hand in hand. I understand that even if some things which might be put out in news or whatever, oh, this is not true, this is not correct, but last में हम सोचते हैं चलो, you know, it's somebody's bread and butter, okay, but when it's your child, you cannot battle a parent.
Initially, we started shooting it, and between two shots, between some light change, some axis change, I was given a bathrobe. कि आप पहन लो फिर वापस. पहले 2 बार पहना, फिर मैंने बोला कि जाने दो यार, क्योंकि जितनी बार पहनता हूँ ना, फिर निकालने के टाइम पे I become even more awkward कि यार ये वापस. So then I stopped wearing bathrobe.
यामी खुद कहती हैं मैं खुद को शीशे में देख के गालियाँ देती थी. Now that sounds very weird as a headline. I do not use cuss words. I'm not comfortable. Anyone around me using cuss words, that's just been me since forever. And but I had many gaali experts on set.
Hello everybody, I'm Rani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. शादियाँ धूमधाम से ही होती है, लेकिन धूमधाम का मतलब डेफिनेशन चेंज भी हो सकता है according to the scenario. I'm talking about two very talented actors joining us today, the team Dhoom Dhaam, Yami and Pratik. Thank you for doing this.
Thank
you.
So tell me, is playing a character that is as crazy, who's completely opposite to who you are, must have really been interesting for you?
Absolutely. This is Koyal is, in no cell of mine I resonate with Koyal. At least the way she is, at least the way she carries herself, or the way she talks, or the way she drives, the way she rides a bike, just the way she is. And I think that is the fun part, no? That is the fun part of being in this business, where people, if someone is taking that punt, Aditya really believes in anti-casting. Aditya really believes that someone who doesn't have the perception of a certain kind, the fun is to make that person do that. So that is how I think me and Pratik came in the picture. I have attempted, of course, comedy in Bala, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
I do not understand why we don't have more female, more characters written for females where we can do comedy. I think that's one of the most fun, one of the most challenging. But if you crack it right, it goes in down the memory lane. So I'm thankful to have got Koyal in every cell of mine now, just as a character, not someone who, not a projection. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy it came my way.
I will talk about the monologue. Aditya ne kaha, your director actually had said that it took you about one take to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
है ना? गालियाँ देने में I'm sure it was not a one take for you, because so Yami, how much practice did that take? I think that's the only, like for him, which part I know must have taken a lot of practice.
I don't know now how to word it, because I read a heading somewhere, किसी ने लिखा था, यामी खुद कहती हैं मैं खुद को शीशे में देख के गालियाँ देती थी. Now that sounds very weird as a headline. that no context, nothing. But वो context of course अंदर article में था. But you know how the headlines go. So I'm really thinking how to word it correctly. But long story short, yes, I do not use cuss words. I'm not comfortable. Anyone around me using cuss words, that's just been me since forever. And but I had many gaali experts on set, and Aditya, just one night before, I got a little anxious. I'm like, Aditya, every time I'm coming to that point, I'm not able to come up with anything. Even though I had made my mind, I'm going to use some gibberish, I'm going to make up something. He said, no, but you have to, Yami. And he explained for 2 hours, which I know in my head already, because that's why I signed the film. I know it's pivotal to the film, to the character. And then the next day, my director comes, leaving his headphones, taking me aside, Yami, this gibberish is not working, and the fun bit is you saying it with so much conviction, but it's making no sense on camera. Do you want to see your take? I said, no, I don't want to, because I know how I performed. And then poor Pratik is only listening to this, back and forth, and he's like, Yami, आप एक बार दे. Then he's like, Yami, आप एक काम करो ना, मैं ही हूँ गाड़ी में, है ना? और गाड़ी के शीशे ऊपर है और सिर्फ डायरेक्टर ने हेडसेट पहने और किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा, आप दे दो, अदरवाइज फिर सो ही वाज माय कोयल फॉर दैट मोमेंट एंड आई वाज दे दो खुल के दे दो कुछ नहीं होता
क्योंकि उसके चलते हो क्या रहा था ना, इनको प्रैक्टिस करवाने के लिए जितने लोग आके बोल रहे थे ये बोलिए ना तो और सुननी पड़ रही थी।
हाँ,
तो मैंने बोला इससे बेटर तो आप ही बोल दो कि जो है उतना।
मैं एंथुजियाज्म देख रही थी, मतलब वो सेट दादा जिनकी प्रॉपर्टी जस्ट पड़ी हुई है वो उनका ध्यान नहीं, अरे मैडम को गाली सिखानी है, हरे हटो। So I'm like, I had multiple गाली experts from different departments and then finally of course I'm like,
so मुझे लगता है कि
take a
पूरी
deep
फिल्म
breath.
का प्रेप में जितना टाइम जितनी एनर्जी गई होगी उससे थोड़ी ज्यादा गाली के एक सीन में गई होगी।
yeah.
So I was not wrong.
Yeah.
I was not wrong about that. But I'm sure mother sisters all over the world will be happy. Anyway, I'm sure वो आपने संभाल लिया आपने। गालियाँ फिर भी सुशील है mother sister कैटेगरी में, it's fine.
And also वो जो सीन है उसमें आपको कभी कुछ सुनाई नहीं देगा ऑडियंस को, that's the beauty of it.
मुझे तो सुनाई भी
वो तो आप
झूठ बोला था क्या आपने? मुझे तो समझ में आ रहा था क्या बोल रही थी।
म्यूजिक हो जाता है. But it's like, listen, gali is also an emotion.
Sure, of
it's not
course.
about just saying gali.
It's about
You
the rage
mean
within.
it. Mean it. I'm like,
मैं जिसको
यार,
एकदम नफरत करते उसके चेहरा चोस के अगर मतलब
ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. जब आपको सीन करना होता है ना, अब वो you have to time it correctly, the word has to be correct, you can't be a fumble. And oh man, मतलब वाकई एक पूरी फिल्म का prep एक तरफ और take a deep breath and just go for it moment was something else.
We'll come back to you, how you look at bachelorette parties, but to the
I'm
main
okay
man.
even if you don't want to come back to it. It's absolutely okay. You can move on to Hindi.
But before I go to him, I must say na कि when you compare what your idea of bachelorette must have been in your wedding to what was happening there, आपको लगा होगा यार मतलब मैं तो काफी restful, peaceful bachelorette था मेरा.
मेरा कोई बैचलरेट पार्टी नहीं.
I mean, you call like a pre-wedding thing that you do with your friends.
हम कोविड में थे.
इनकी शादी में हुआ नहीं ना ये.
Your didn't happen.
इनकी शादी के बाद हमारी फिल्म का शूट हुआ ना.
एंड हाँ.
तो उन्होंने वो चीज पूरा फिल्म में कर लिया.
एंड मैं रोज ढूंढ रही थी क्योंकि उसमें कोयल इज अ बिट, ऑफ कोर्स वो सीन उस तरीके से नहीं है फिल्म में. वो जब हमने शूट किया है, it's a proper party where she's drunk and everything. Now I don't drink also in real life. तो मैं हर किसी को अब रेफरेंस मांग रही हूँ. हाँ गर्ल्स, ओके हाँ ऑफ कोर्स, थोड़ा और मैं तो यहाँ गिर गई थी, मैं तो ऐसे 4 सीढ़ियों मैं यहाँ थी. सो यू जस्ट गो ऑल आउट. Now going all out also, how does it look on screen? So for me, those moments have been real head scratches ki yaar, something which I've never, because I don't drink and you can't go wrong here. You can't go, अरे यार मैं नहीं करती, so I don't know. You have to work it out. Now how do you work it out? Was again I had many drinking experts on set.
Sure. सबकी टिप्पणियाँ सुनने के बाद, तो the man of the moment. So this was a new experience for you. Have you? I'm not going to ask you if you've ever experienced it. Didn't look like you were very comfortable doing it, just like your character. Let's hear it.
No, so all the dance moves and all those madness that I keep doing in all the house parties with friends and all, but with my clothes on.
That's the point.
Yeah, the same thing, same madness without some clothes was the first ever experience. मतलब यार हाँ, it's
I
don't know what to say.
He's right now with all women. I want to know what your wife thought of has she seen it yet?
Yes.
What did she say?
She laughed a lot. क्या ये क्या पागलपन है? So initially we started shooting it, and between 2 shots, between some light change, some axis change, I was given a bathrobe कि आप पहन लो फिर वापस. पहले 2 बार पहना, फिर मैंने बोला कि जाने दो यार, क्योंकि जितनी बार पहनता हूँ ना फिर निकालने के टाइम पे I become even more awkward कि यार ये वापस. So then I stopped wearing bathrobe. between 2 shots.
And he was required to make a certain kind of work on his body, which he did. And it's the most painful process. Some days he would be just throwing up, some days he's dehydrated, but that is what.
That's the whole process.
And we're all luring him. बस ये हो जाए, पीछे खड़े हम गाजर का हलवा लेके, पीछे वो और क्या ढोकला वो सब लेके हम खड़े कैमरा के पीछे.
खत्म होना शूट का, then you will be treated with good food.
And along with that, of course, the Bruce Lee fan action that was happening out there. Pratik, I want to know, it's an assumption if I say it, but were you, when in your college days or ever, you don't seem the kind of person who would have got into a situation like this. You probably weren't the one who would have spoken intelligently and gotten out of it. Na? That's the fun of being an actor. But this also is very rare. This thing that you have to do, beating up for a woman, is rare for you. Tell me how you felt about that entire thing.
The last sequence you're talking
Yeah,
about,
of
right?
course.
The whole Bruce Lee thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that you you said it that way, because that's what our intention was, to make it realistic in a way where the way he has reacted throughout the film, he wouldn't be somebody else towards the end, where he'll fight against the law of physics. But within that realism, within the arc of Veer, the fight was supposed to be. And actually this is how you fight in real life also, that you actually want to put up a strong face, but when somebody is chasing you with her rod, you would want to run away. You don't want to fight him.
Absolutely.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
So most of it came from the real life experiences that we've had during our martial arts classes. कि हाँ ठीक है, कोई बहुत strong opponent आ जाता था तो हम कुछ नहीं करते थे, हम चले जाते थे.
We were like, let's just see where is the exit.
सबसे पहले फाइट में एक चीज है जो आपको देखनी है कि भागा कहाँ से जा सकता है. Then you get into fight.
That's an intelligent thing to do. Yami, people always say motherhood is life changing, and you've agreed. But how is it now? You've gotten the time, you spend a little bit of time with him, and I see those cute pictures. It's all adorable, absolutely. I mean, not his face. There's one picture that Aditya had put out where he was looking
I
away.
got a little, like a little heart attack.
That I don't think you would ever. You've always said that you don't want to put your child so much out there. Tell me how all of that has been amidst getting back to this.
It's not that short span of time with him. I spend a lot of time with him, and I can't wait to get done with what I'm supposed to do, what I'm committed to do, and go back home with him. It's beautiful. It is the most beautiful feeling. It is the most powerful feeling. It is the most important emotion, I'd say. Again, to each his own. But when you experience it in its purest form, and when it's just literally you and your child, it is the most, I cannot explain. That emotion is just like a flower. It's like this beautiful, fragile, vulnerable flower which literally represents Mother Nature. It's like some colors you've not seen. It's like never seen before. You know what is it? You've heard of it. But what is it to experience that I can never put it in words? So I feel definitely very blessed to have experienced it.
I want to come to my last segment. Before that, I saw a little panic in some time back when I said that the pictures, are you telling me there are pictures of my son?
Because you said other picture. I'm like, pictures?
But I know that's a legit concern, right? We live in a world where how long can you protect what you have? It's so scary. Especially when you're celebrities, they always want to put that out. Especially with children, you see a lot of them not trying to put their faces and protecting all of that. How have you had that conversation going forward? Because I know this is the world that your son is going to be a part of forever.
This was a no-brainer between Aditya and I, and both of us are on the same page. I think when it comes to parenting, the core, these are some really crucial aspects for the growth and your child's future, right? So they cannot be, it's my perspective, your perspective. You both have to be on the same page. Other things, whether you'd want him with sport and this and that, you can keep talking. Eventually, of course, the child is going to do what he or she is going to do. But these are very important, very, very important aspects. So we were very clear about what not to do. And we ourselves are not very much out there. Apart from our work, where do you see us?
Yeah, of course.
Where I don't put up any picture apart from my promotional pictures. Anything to do with my work, you will not see it coming on my social media. And it's a very conscious decision. So definitely imagine now for your child, you'll go all the way out to protect him. And it's very important because it's not about that one picture. First of all, if I'm not wrong, legally, I don't think you're supposed to be taking a picture without consent if someone, I don't think so. I think that is somewhere that's even the law would favor you. So it's not that just because you're a public figure everyone has access to everything. But more than the law, it's the moral responsibility somewhere and the social responsibility that if a parent is uncomfortable, why do you want to make one go through that, right?
True.
We anyway, I think from media perspective, we are in this business, we work hand in hand. I understand that even if some things which might be put out in news or whatever, oh, this is not true, this is not correct, but last में हम सोचते हैं चलो, you know, it's somebody's bread and butter, okay. But when it's your child, you cannot battle a parent. And that is so important for children to have just a normal, regular childhood. Just because his parents are public figures, that doesn't, that should not affect him in a way which impacts him or puts a heavy psychological, some kind of pressure on his mind. No,
fair enough.
That's absolutely not fair. And childhood is the very foundation of one's future.
Yeah.
Right. So we are very clear about that, and I'm sure that, and we're not the first parents to think like that for their child, and I'm sure we won't be the last. It's a personal choice, and if someone is comfortable with the kids being captured and photographed, that's to each his own. I'm not judging anyone, and if someone's not comfortable, so I think that needs to be given respect.
Yeah, I think both sides. Okay, the last segment is Never Have I Ever. Very familiar. The game is Never Have I Ever. If you have gone through it, you'll have to say, I have. And then give a one-liner explanation of that incident.
Okay.
Because I think it's unfair, because then if you just
No
say
context.
Yeah, then people can rub in the wrong context. So you get a one-liner explanation to why. All right, are you ready? Have you ever drunk dialed your ex?
Never.
Or even maybe consciously, because she doesn't drink?
No.
No. Okay. No context needed at all. Refused to do a film because it went against your own beliefs.
Refused, you're saying?
Refused to do a film because it went against your own beliefs.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Give me a one-liner explanation what that must have been.
No, that's important. No? I think success is when you start giving voice to your true choices, and it may have not happened initially, and that's okay. But now I'm at a position,
Of course,
fortunately, where I can and I should be doing work which has my heart. So yeah.
What are those beliefs? Like saying no to a certain kind of thing, or a theme, or a
It's very, very difficult to put it. I mean, they have been
Under a category.
so just very difficult to put it in words. Sometimes it just could be concept. Sometimes you can see through that because some film of mine has worked or something else has worked, and hence it's one of those films.
Wahi karna hai.
Wahi karna hai. So sometimes it just could be plain that.
Yeah, even I have done that actually.
yeah. What was in your case, if you can specify?
So it is about the intention of the film that I couldn't, agree to. That if it is made, it is not justifying the story, but it is made to please some people, some sect, some set of people, then it doesn't work.
Sure.
So I guess the heart is at a wrong place.
Sure. Was hit on by a co-star. ये तो
I don't know that.
मुझे
यार, अगर ऐसा हुआ तो
now I'll have to construct this.
very carefully.
No, never have I ever been hit on.
So I have been hit on by a co-star is the answer, na?
No, I was going to say never because I don't get to know.
Ah, like you also.
हाँ, पता कैसे चला?
No, but someone must have told na that at some point I had a crush on you or something like that.
No one has said that to me. Right from college days.
No one.
No one. I think I think most of people, they were very, for some reason, scared of me.
उन्होंने
Right from
आपके अंदर
college
छिपी
days.
हुई कोयल को देख लिया होगा। ना बताओ।
Valentine's Day पे ऐसे ही हुआ था मैं कॉलेज में था.
क्यों?
I scolded a senior because वो क्लास से बता रहे थे Valentine's का मतलब मैं इतनी दूर से आई हूँ नोट्स लेने, अभी एग्जाम शुरू होने वाले हैं, आप लिखोगे बैठ के, मैं कहीं नहीं जा रही हूँ और मैम भी कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं.
तो कैसे कोई बेचारा मतलब सोच भी रहा होगा तो जाने देते हैं.
तो बेचारा एक था कि क्लास में और तेज लिखने लग पड़ा कि I think I have always been more like Veer, I think, all my life, but there are moments where
that part comes out.
yeah.
Koel comes out
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
when he did. Okay. Felt like you were being unfairly treated on a film set and not given the same respect as your co-actor, so you've taken decisions accordingly.
if that has happened, that means you're not at the disposal to take any decision, but except okay, I don't want to do the film. Now I really don't remember that because that's again a very deep-rooted conversation. It may have happened, of course, not just by co-actor, but it could be anyone.
No,
It could,
anything on the
I'm
set.
saying, I'm
Anything
saying
on
it
the
could
set.
be during promotions. It could be during so many times.
Yeah.
Of course, it's happened in the past where you feel, yaar, matlab you're taking, if it's a multi-star or whatever film, a different treatment for everyone. Then, and I remember saying that as much as okay, I need the film, but I need that respect. So you'd rather keep me outside.
I'm
and
glad you
that's-
stood up.
And that's okay. So I'm not going to fight, take me there. I'm just going to step back and say, that's okay.
Fair. What about you? You have?
It happened initially. So when you are not doing a central character, you're doing a part of, when you are a part of the team.
Sure.
You are an actor, but not doing the central character. So where we were shooting in one of the places where there were no rooms, in the mid of the crowded area of the city, and they were given a room, but then there was a absolutely stuffy storeroom where we were asked to sit and wait for the next shot. And I said, I'd rather sit on the street and breathe properly than sit there. So exactly, I mean, there is no point of asking for a treatment because then I constantly remind myself about one line that was given by a very senior consultant during my consultancy days, that first you deserve, then desire. So I constantly kept telling that, okay, if they don't think that I deserve, then there is no point in asking for anything. So let's go to that level and then we'll see.
Once again. Arshad bhai, यार ये हो सुबह हर इंटरव्यू से नीचे देखना इनके कमेंट्स में ये जरूर होगा.
She's picked it up from the trailer. Couple of comments under the trailer.
I absolutely love it. Harshad Mehta X, Naina Jaiswal. Harshad Mehta X, Zuni Akhtar. I mean, I am absolutely in love with those comments.
Okay. Embarrassed by a scene or a film that you've done in the past? Regretted or embarrassed? Regretted. Because like,
हाँ मतलब कई बार I don't think I've ever given like an embarrassing performance, but yeah, the film can be something which probably I have not watched a film of mine. Of course. Yeah. No names.
Completely misjudged a film and like, अरे ये कैसे?
हाँ, और वो पता चल जाता है. वो आपको सेट के पहले दिन ही सूर समझ में आ जाएगा. Then okay.
But it's okay. That's how life is, right?
Absolutely. You have to move on. You can't. Then my performance will not change because my audience is still, you're still watching the film and you're still committed to the film.
Sure.
You have to do what you do, what to do.
I should end it by saying this answer I can give for you. Never have I stripped before I did Dhoom Dhaam for everybody.
Before I did Dhoom Dhaam, yes.
Before you did Dhoom Dhaam?
Never.
Now you can say yes to this question. Have you ever stripped in a bachelor party? You can actually say I have now.
I have in Dhoom Dhaam actually.
In Dhoom Dhaam, please specify. जैसे मेरी
Dhoom Dhaam.
headline थी, मैं अपने आप को शीशे में गाली देती थी. आपकी भी कोई headline बन जाएगी.
And you can say, have I ever been a part of bachelor party and have blacked out? Now you can say yes.
No, I'm still not saying yes because I've seen the other side of headlines, so I'm definitely not saying yes.
Okay, yeah. In context to this film. वो भी नहीं होगा वैसे तो वहाँ पे. But on that note, thank you so much. It's
Thank you,
always
Rani.
wonderful chatting
Same
with
here.
both of you actors who are making their marks, sticking to their own ground and continuing to do such interesting stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
धूम धाम से आपकी celebration हो इसके बाद.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
once
very
again.
much.
Thank you.
Sardani.